Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Gholam Mujtaba speaking from the United States of America on a very important subject that has been raised by many of you in the social media on the constitutional and doctrinal aspects of General Asim Munir's rise to Field Marshal. Before going into that, let me congratulate the General Asim Munir, on his elevation to the honorary post of Field Marshal of the Armed Forces of Pakistan. It has been a great honor on the part of Pakistani nation that the Pakistan Armed Forces scored a victory over India after 50 years of losing East Pakistan at the hands of a conspiracy hatched against Pakistan and finally executed by the Indian Armed Forces. However, history has been redefined and the muscles have been showed by the Pakistan Armed Forces, and the leadership of Pakistan Armed Forces do deserve commendation, recognition and encouragement by the masses of Pakistan. We salute you on this tremendous achievement in the interest of Pakistan. Going back to the topic on the constitutional and doctrinal aspects of his elevation as Field Marshal. We'd all know that the recent elevation of General Asim Munir to the rank of Field Marshal marks a rare and historic moment in Pakistan's military evolution. He becomes only the second officer in the country's history to be promoted to this ceremonial 5-star position, the first being Field Marshal Muhammad Ayub Khan in 1959. This promotion raises legitimate constitutional, military and administrative questions regarding the role, authority and succession dynamics of 5-star generals in Pakistan, particularly concerning the command structure of the Pakistan Army and the Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee JCSC. The question is, can a 5-star general command the army? Legally and historically, the rank of Field Marshal is ceremonial in nature and not an operational or command designation under current Pakistani military regulations. The rank does not automatically confer authority to command the armed forces unless specifically authorized by the federal government through an act or ordinance. Historical precedents in terms of Ayub Khan, while looking to it, in 1951 General Muhammad Ayub Khan became Commander-in-Chief of the Pakistan Army. However, when he was promoted to Field Marshal in 1959, he was already the President of Pakistan, not the active army chief. His acquisition of the Field Marshal title was symbolic and aimed to reflect his supreme position in both military and civil spheres. To maintain operational continuity, he ensured the command of the Pakistan Army remained under a 4-star general, General Muhammad Musa, who served as Commander-in-Chief from 1958 to 1966. A 5-star general typically does not command troops. It is the recognition of service, not an active duty designation under the military command. However, the constitutional and legal framework states that the Constitution of Pakistan 1973 is silent on military ranks beyond the 4-star general, admiral or Air Chief Marshal. However, military promotions and appointments fall under Pakistan Army Act 1952. The rules of business Government of Pakistan 1973. Service Chiefs Tenure Law, Act of Parliament 2020. These instruments do not define or authorize the command role of Field Marshal. Therefore, the Army Chief COAS remains the operational head of the Army. The Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee JCSC remains the principal military advisor to the Prime Minister and President. Field Marshal Ayub Khan, while symbolically elevated, no longer holds an operational command post unless granted additional powers. I'm sorry, Field Marshal Asim Munir, not Ayub Khan. Will he play a behind-the-scenes advisory role on national security? Will this promotion impact future command appointments? Will the JCSC's office face perceived redundancy? Without further legislative action, Asim Munir's role is advisory and ceremonial, not executive. In terms of the international context of 5-star ranks, let us review that. Globally, the 5-star rank is used sparingly. General of the Army in the US, conferred during wartime or posthumously, often does not involve direct command. In India, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw was elevated after retirement, again symbolically. Hence, Pakistan's elevation of an active general to Field Marshal status is unusual and should be legally clarified. General Asim Munir's promotion to Field Marshal is a ceremonial acknowledgement of service and success. 2. He cannot hold operational command without a legal framework, ordinance, or new military doctrine. 3. JCSC General Sahir Shamshad Mirza retains full constitutional authority as per existing military laws. 4. To prevent institutional confusion, the federal government or Ministry of Defense should formally clarify the role and status of the Field Marshal rank within Pakistan's armed forces. Through executive authority of a presidential ordinance or constitutional amendment. The fate of the 4-star Joint Chiefs Chairman is an intriguing question. General Sahir Shamshad Mirza currently serves as the Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee, the senior most 4-star officer in terms of protocol. His constitutional role includes coordination amongst the Army, Navy and Air Force, advisory function to the National Command Authority, oversight of nuclear doctrine and strategic planning. Even though the Field Marshal technically outranks all military officers, the JCSC remains fully empowered under Pakistan's defense doctrine to coordinate and advise the state on strategic military matters. The presence of Field Marshal does not supersede the role or duties of the JCSC unless new legal instruments are introduced. The implications of Field Marshal Asim Munir's promotions. The elevation of General Asim Munir can be seen as a symbolic recognition for a victorious war effort, the Pakistan-India conflict of May 2025. A political signal of military stability and national morale, a reflection of Pakistan's acknowledgement of a rare military success in the modern era. However, it also raises many other questions which may be answered in due course of time. And finally, we salute the armed forces of Pakistan on their tremendous job bringing victory to the nation of Pakistan after 5 decades of patience. It is a great moment for Pakistan, and should Pakistanis and Pakistani Americans rejoice this victory. وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقَّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Thank you so much for your patience.